नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
जटाधरा शिव जटाधरा, 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 हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय।
ओम
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता, नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। नानारत्नसमायुक्तं करस्वार्विभूषितम् आसन श्री जगज्जननी दुर्गा देवी प्रीत्यर्थं प्रतिगृहताम्। बोले श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। Please be seated. Join in Devi Bhajan.
तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। सदा रहा करके उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है। मन में रहो तुम सबके, तुमसे यही आशा है। दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है। मन में रहो तुम न पड़ा या क्या, सदा ज्योति जला करके रोशन करो जग सारा, रोशन करो जग सारा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। संसार तुम्हारा है, कभी दुख कभी छाया है, एक दिन उस जाना है जो भी यहाँ आया है। संसार तुम्हारा है, कभी दुख कभी छाया है, एक दिन उस जाना है जो भी यहाँ आया है। क्या रंग है जीवन का, क्या रूप है मानव का, तुम ज्ञान भरा करके उपकार करो दुर्गा, उपकार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का। संहार हारिका करके हार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी।
रातों सुबह शाम बोलो माँ क्या नाम, रातों सुबह शाम बोलो माँ क्या नाम। दुर्गे नाम का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे, दुर्गे नाम का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे, दुर्गे नाम का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे, दुर्गे नाम का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे।
रात सुबह शाम बोलो माँ का नाम, रात सुबह शाम बोलो माँ का नाम।
तेरा तडाली ओ महारानी, शरणों की तेरे पूजा करो। तेरा तडाली ओ महारानी, शरणों की तेरे पूजा करो। तुम जितना जो दे रहे हो, तुम जितना जो दे रहे हो, तुमको कलंतम प्रणाम। दुर्गे नाम
का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे, दुर्गे नाम का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे, दुर्गे नाम का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे, दुर्गे नाम का सुमिरन करो रे बंदे। रात सुबह शाम बोलो माँ का नाम, रात सुबह शाम बोलो माँ का नाम।
सुख चैन यशवल देने वाली माँ, युग युग में तेरे हो आरती। सुख चैन यशवल देने वाली माँ युग युग में तेरे हो आरती नारायणी दुर्गा लक्ष्मी माँ नारायणी दुर्गा लक्ष्मी माँ तुमको अनंतम प्रणाम दुर्गे नाम
के सुमिरन करो रे बंदे दुर्गे नाम के सुमिरन करो रे बंदे दुर्गे नाम के सुमिरन करो रे बंदे दुर्गे नाम के सुमिरन करो रे बंदे रात सुबह शाम बोलो माँ का नाम रात सुबह शाम
हे
बोलो माँ का
शिरवाली शिरवाली
सुबह शाम
बोलो माँ का नाम रातों सुबह शाम बोलो माँ का नाम रातों सुबह शाम
बोलो माँ का नाम
माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए काम जब भी कोई करिए माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए काम जब भी कोई करिए जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो बोलो जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए काम जब भी कोई करिए कोई मुश्किल को पल में टलेगी हर जान सफलता मिलेगी हा 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 कोई मुश्किल को पल में टलेगी हर जग पे सफलता मिलेगी हर जग पे सफलता मिलेगी सच दिल से प्रणाम करिए सच दिल से प्रणाम करिए हम जब भी कोई करिए जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो बोलो जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए हम जब भी कोई करिए रूप इनका सबसे निराला इस रूप से जग में उजाला हा 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 रूप इनका सबसे निराला इस रूप से जग में उजाला इस रूप से जग में उजाला नाम इनका सदा समरिए नाम इनका सदा समरिए हम जब भी कोई करिए जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो बोलो जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए हम जब भी कोई करिए जग मिलते किसी से करिए, जग में फिल न किसी से करिए, हम जब भी कोई करिए। जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो बोलो, जय माता दी मिलके सब जन बोलो। माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए, माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए, हम जब भी कोई करिए। हम जब भी कोई करिए।
एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरी माता श्री देवी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। क्षमा मूर्ति देवी माता, प्रेम मूर्ति श्री देवी माता। क्षमा मूर्ति देवी माता, प्रेम मूर्ति श्री देवी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। क्षमा मूर्ति लक्ष्मी माता, प्रेम मूर्ति श्री लक्ष्मी माता। क्षमा मूर्ति लक्ष्मी माता, प्रेम मूर्ति श्री लक्ष्मी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरी माता श्री देवी माता। क्षमा मूर्ति लक्ष्मी माता, प्रेम मूर्ति सरस्वती माता। क्षमा मूर्ति शरणा माता, प्रेम मूर्ति सरस्वती माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। क्षमा मूर्ति जगदम्बा, प्रेम मूर्ति श्री दुर्गा माता। क्षमा मूर्ति जगदम्बा, प्रेम मूर्ति श्री दुर्गा माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता। एक बार क्षमा कर देवी, मेरे माता श्री देवी माता।
हे सिंह वाहिनी दुर्गा मैया, हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो। हे सिंह वाहिनी दुर्गा मैया हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो। हे सिंह वाहिनी दुर्गा मैया हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो। आए हैं हम द्वार तुम्हारे, आशा का चल कली आए। हम दया करो दो जगदम्बे, सुख के फूलों से भर जाए। मन मंदिर में माँ, मन मंदिर में माँ, तुम सहित उतारो माँ। हे सिंह वाहिनी दुर्गा मैया हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो। हे सिंह वाहिनी दुर्गा मैया हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो। दुर्गा रोमा और गुणसार, डेरो सुलझो आँख बिकाशा। विपत्ति के बादल नाहे छाए, दुर्गा मैया करुणा रक्षा। चरणों में है माँ, चरणों में है माँ, तुम सारी कष्टारो माँ। हे सिंह वाहिनी दुर्गा मैया हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो। हे सिंह वाहिनी दुर्गा मैया हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो माँ, हम पर दया करो।
लक्ष्मी मैया उतारे तेरे आरती, बरसारो माँ कृपा। ओ लक्ष्मी मैया उतारे तेरे आरती, बरसारो माँ कृपा। सबको नैया दुखों से तू ही तारती, बरसारो माँ कृपा। ओ लक्ष्मी मैया अंधन देने वाले तू ही जग को पाले। अंधन देने वाले तू ही जग को पाले। दया से तेरी हम अब जीवे सबको तू समझा ले। दया से तेरी हम अब जीवन सबको तू समझा ले। लक्ष्मी मैया उतारे तेरी आरती, बरसारो माँ कृपा। सबको नैया दुखों से तू ही तारती, बरसारो माँ कृपा। ओ लक्ष्मी मैया तेरे भक्ति जगदे दिन में निश दिन करती वंदन। तेरे भक्ति जगदे दिन में निश दिन करती वंदन। तू है शक्ति परमेश्वर के काथो भव से बंधन। तू है शक्ति परमेश्वर के खातो भव से बंधन। लक्ष्मी मैया उतारे तेरी आरती, बरसारो माँ कृपा सबको नैया दुखों से तू ही तारती, बरसारो माँ कृपा ओ लक्ष्मी मैया। प्रेम का दीप जगा गे मैया आरती उतारे। प्रेम का दीप जगा गे मैया आरती उतारे। हे जग ज्योति कष्ट निवारे हर लेना अंधियारे। हे जग ज्योति कष्ट निवारे हर लेना अंधियारे। लक्ष्मी मैया उतारे तेरे आरती, बरसारो माँ कृपा सबको नैया दुखों से तू ही तारती, बरसारो माँ कृपा ओ लक्ष्मी मैया।
प्रविशी नगर की जे सब काजा, हृदय राखी कुशलपुर राजा। प्रविशी नगर की जे सब काजा, हृदय राखी कुशलपुर राजा। रत चहिसियसा हेत डोबाई, रत चहिसियसा हेत डोबाई। चले बनई हवर श्री शिरनाई। जय राम श्री राम,
जय जय राम श्री राम, जय राम जय जय राम।
जाके सुमिरन तेरी पुनाशा, जाके सुमिरन तेरे पुनाशा। नाम चटोगन वीर प्रकाशा, विश्वबरन पोषण कर जोरी। ताकर नाम बरत अस होई। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम श्री राम, जय राम जय जय राम। जब ते राम बाई घर आए, नित नव मंगल मोद बराए। सका धर्म में असडत जाके, जीतन कहन तु काहुरी बुता के। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम श्री राम, जय राम जय जय राम। वह शोभा जसु माँ जसु का कहत न बैन खगेश। ओ रामा कहन बैन खगेश। वरे नई शार तु शेष श्रुति, सोर सजान महेश शिया। पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम।
बोलिए श्री दुर्गा माता की जय। Devotees, let us all sit upright. Om Namaschandikaya. Many have fasted, performed puja, seeking the grace, the blessings of Divine Mother. Om Namaschandikaya. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Ganganapate Namah. Ajnanam timirandhasya Jnanayanjam shalakaya Chakshurang militam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Dhyanamoolam Gururmurti Pujamoolam Gururpadam Mantramoolam Gururvakyam Mokshamoolam Gururkripaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Nidra Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namastute. Jai Tvam Devi Chamunde Jai Bhutati Harini Jai Sarvgate Devi Kalaratri Namastute. Om Namaschandikaya. Om Namaschandikaya. Om Namaschandikaya. Bole Shri Durga Mata ki Jai. Devotees, last night we continued Devi Mahatam, where the two individuals, Samadhi and the king, Surat, expressed to the great sage their concern that they had little control over their mind. Their mind was dwelling on past experiences and it prevented them from going forward. Medha Rishi said, as we recall, that ultimately it is through the grace of Devi, Mata, that we can overcome these challenges and these issues. The question was asked, who is Devi? When did she first manifest? And last night we read the Katha where at the beginning of creation, Vishnu Bhagwan is asleep, Yog Nidra. From his navel emerges the lotus flower, and Brahma sits in that lotus. So the creative potency of Vishnu Bhagwan is manifested as Brahma. And Brahma is contemplating on creation. But even as Brahma emerges on that lotus, from the heirs of Vishnu Bhagwan, Madhu, Kaitab, the first two demons from creation came. Brahma was affected by them, as we discussed last night. He appealed to Vishnu Bhagwan. Devi was worshipped, and Vishnu Bhagwan, through Devi's power, was awakened. And he entered into battle with Madhu Kaitab. They were so powerful, however, he could not defeat them. And so, in order to defeat them, Vishnu Bhagwan had to ask of them a boon. Vishnu Bhagwan went first in one tradition. He says to them, ask me what you want, I'll give you a boon. I'll give you a blessing. And they started laughing. We are more powerful than you. You ask us for a boon. Birth of arrogance. And Vishnu Bhagwan said, okay, tell me how to kill you. Now, when they looked around, all around them was water only. So they thought, we could die only when there is no water around. So in their mind, what they were thinking, because the entire universe was still water only, that they couldn't die. And then Vishnu Bhagwan emerged. What he did, he enlarged his size. And his thigh itself, his foot itself became huge, like land. And he brought them there. And using the Sudarshan Chakra, you know the spinning discus? He chopped off their heads. And so Madhu Kaitab were destroyed. For those who may not have been here last night, I summarized the Katha tonight as we begin. And last night I said, tonight, we will look at the Katha. Now, to some people, they will say, boy, nice fairy tale. Nice story. Like, so I've heard some people say already, not Hindus, probably them sages, they sat in the forest, smoking ganja, and in this delirious state, they come up with these stories. But no devotees. Tonight, in the few minutes we have, keeping within our limit, we look now at what this is. Vishnu Bhagwan is like each of us. Many of us, we are asleep in this universal waters. Madhu Kaitab, now there are different perspectives and interpretations, different opinions have been given, different perspectives carrying different messages have been given. Madhu Kaitab, one explanation is Madhu. Who knows what Madhu means? Anybody who did Hindi? Madhu is honey. So honey or bee like. So one tradition says Madhu Kaitab are like, you know how bee making, honey making bees are? They are always active all the time, looking to create honey. And the explanation is given, many of us as human beings are like that. How? We are always doing actions aimed at material development. We fill our whole life only with seeking material development. So every day we're busy. We have to go to work. When we come home, we have to do something else. We're always on some projector, materially develop ourselves. And while we do that, our spirituality is asleep. Many people live their entire lives. Now, we dealt with this already, so I don't want to, in services. There are many examples of people who are so materialistic that they achieve everything materially, but what happens? No real satisfaction comes at the end. Because with all the material advancement, unless there is a measure of spirituality within us, unless our spirituality is awakened, then we are just continuing day in, day out, performing these actions. So you ever look at a colony of ants? Or ants in a line. As they come, or bachak, a little bigger, you can see them better, when we eyes going like us, right? Bachak come, they touch each other, and they go on. You know how to do it? If you notice it, next time you see at bachak, check it out. And you could ask yourself what they're really doing. Where are they going? So every day we get up, we bathe, we eat, we go on work, we come back home, we go on sleep, we get up next day, bathe, eat. Some days we mightn't bathe. Yeah? All sorts of things. And all we do, madhu kaitab like this. We are a bee-like, honey-like, where we are just in the business of doing physical things and not developing spirituality. That is the simpler perspective. And what is Devi? The awakening of, and when we do that, our creative potential, our potential for spiritual development, which is what Brahma brings, the Vedas, true knowledge, escapes us because we are taken up only in material advancement. Don't get me wrong, material advancement is important, but it is a part of our life. It must not be our entire life. So that's one perspective that has been given. The one that I want to focus on more is the literal Madhu Kaitab represents rag and dvesh, as is Sanskrit terms or Hindi terms, meaning cravings and aversions. Now, I want to give serious thought for a few minutes, right, on what I'm going to say here. Each of us are filled with cravings. Now, Madhu and Kaitab come out from where? Lord Vishnu's heirs. We hear the neighbor buy a new car, and we still driving a 1931 one. No, 1931 is an antique, right? A good one too, right? But we're still driving one that's not kind of compare with that. And what happens to us right away? We want to have a car like that. Cravings enter the mind. If we think of all of us all, and it's not a negative, we're not being negative about anybody here. Every human being faces from the mind cravings and also things what are called aversion. Things you don't want or you don't like. Where is it born? It is born in the mind. How does an idea enter our mind? Many times it's what our senses expose us to. In this context, what we hear. We need to control the demons of, and they are both treated as demons, cravings and this sense of aversion. Because what happens? Now, Hinduism is very, very, very interesting as a tradition. Hinduism puts you on many fasts. I don't think there's any other tradition that has as many fasts, right? And vrats as Hinduism does. Hinduism tells you control your body, control what you eat, control what you think. Hinduism places constraints, tries to teach us to control our being, but Hindu theology frees the mind. Compare that with other philosophies that tell you could eat what you want, you could drink what you want, but you know what they do? They imprison the mind. In that, only what we say right, everything else wrong. But so, we imprison the mind in those sorts of philosophies, but give the body freedom. Do what you want. Sanatan Dharma, devotees, rag and dvesh. I want us to think about our lives. Many times what happens is that we crave things. These cravings give rise to desires. I see something, I hear something, I want to do it, I want to be it, be like it or be like them. Different ways you can analyze it in your own life. And what we are taught, Vishnu Bhagwan, as a human, as a being, is exposed to these what? Demons of cravings, of attraction and repulsion. There are things I will be attracted to, there are things I will be repulsed from. And what happens? If I am attracted to something and it's not good for me, what do I do? Because I have a craving for it, what do? I do it, and I'm not watching this side. Right? Think about it. If we all were to be objective about our lives, and nobody's perfect, we all have shortcomings. Kalyani is trying to control my chana and aloo eaten. Last night or night before I said to her, can I get some more? And she said no. Right? Now, I know at the mind level, okay, I have a health issue and I shouldn't be eating so much carbohydrates. But when I sit before the food, what happens? That craving comes. I'm a human being too. So the mind, and this is where it is said, the mind cannot control some of these cravings. And we have to see where those cravings are in our lives. Where is the Madhu and the Kaitab? Devotees. So let's look at the story now. Madhu Kaitab emerges from the heirs of Vishnu and they begin attacking Brahma, which is our creative potency. For us to become the best that we can be, for us to achieve what we should, we must be able to do what? To be able to control these cravings and the whole issue of aversion. We may want to avoid things that is for our benefit. Many examples abound. We can think of them ourselves. The whole point of Devi Katha is for us, this Katha, remember the two gentlemen, Samadhi and, what's his name? Surat, the king. They said to the sage, tell us how to get out of this mind situation where we are thinking about things that are no longer in our benefit. And so he gives the example of Madhu Kaitab. Now, and here, Vishnu Bhagwan is Yog Nidra, he is in the sleep as it were, created by Devi. And Brahma, the creator, is appealing to him, his creative potency, which is being affected by these pairs of opposites. So if we want to become the best that we can be, we are being told that we have to control these. You know, Bhagavad Gita, when you analyze Bhagavad Gita, it tells us ultimately how should we perform our duty. Karmane vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Remember that verse? Our jurisdiction is only the performance of our duty, not seeking to get the fruits. Whatever we do, the results will come. We don't have to ask for it, we don't have to crave for it. It will come. So, what should our ultimate objective and perspective should be I do what has to be done, what is correct to be done. If a craving is affecting me, then I need to control it. If because of aversion I don't do what I am supposed to do, then I need to recognize it and take action appropriately. Now, what happens? The mind on its own cannot overcome these cravings. Vishnu Bhagwan in the sleeping state cannot. So the appeal is made to Devi. You and I may not be able to individually, without assistance, control this mind of ours. Which is why Devi Puja, devotees, and the prayer of Brahma. This is a wonderful prayer. Tvam Swaha, you are Swaha. Tvam Swadha, you are Swadha. Tvam Hi, and he continues. A whole beautiful prayer, you can read it, you can get access to it, where Brahma prays the Divine Mother for her intervention, for the control of Rag and Dvesh. Now, Rag and Dvesh, aversion and cravings, they say the only place they could die is where there is no water. What is the water? What is the water in which this whole idea of craving and aversion flourishes? The water is defined as desire. When we have desires, devotees, those desires, have you ever met anyone? I will just give you, October 2nd was Gandhi Jayanti. And in his life, he made an interesting observation. It was a truly intelligent person, knowledgeable in scripture also, among whatever else he may have been. But he made the point that this world has enough for every man's need, but not enough for even one man's greed. When is enough enough? Devotees, many people are unhappy because of this fact that desires run riot in their lives. They don't know to have control, how to control aversion and cravings. So Devi Mata, devotees, when she is appealed to, she empowers Vishnu Bhagwan. She empowers us. And what does Vishnu Bhagwan do? He takes Sudarshan Chakra and beheads them. There is further interpretation and analysis about his leg and so, which I will leave out tonight. But basically, you take Sudarshan Chakra. Again, have you studied Hindi? Can I throw this one out on you without, well, we don't practice nothing before, we just talk, right? Sudarshan, what does it mean? Su is good, darshan. Glimpse of view. Sudarshan. So, Sudarshan means what? Good sight. And chakra. A chakra is something that is spinning incessantly, never stops. So you want to destroy Rag and Dvesh? You want to destroy these demons that emerge because of our senses? Then take Sudarshan, which is right sight. Following it? Good thinking, right sight, and incessantly. So in other words, you can't have good sight for 4 hours a day, and for the rest of the day. So when, like what happens? Have you heard the story of this? Just as we have you all sitting here, right? There was this temple And a guy used to come with a long beard, and he wouldn't sit on chairs. He would bring his own mat and place it on the ground, and there he would sit. And when Pandit is narrating Katha, he in seventh heaven. When you look at him, you think he's the ideal model of divinity for the hour and a half, or in our case, the half hour, or 45 minutes that we have service. When he finishes, though, when Panditji finishes, Arati is finished, and so please hold that child. Ma'am, excuse me, please hold the child close to you. Yeah. What happens? He takes up the mat and he shakes it out and leaves. So one day someone asked, Baba, you always come and sit so nicely, but when you are leaving, what happens? You always get up and shake out the mat. He said, listen, let me tell you something. I'm a businessman too, I mean, I like to put on my white kurta and dhoti and so when I come in the yard, you see, for the 45 minutes or the hour that we hear Baba talk all them nice things, I enjoy it. So I enjoy it. But you see, after them one hour when I get up, I shake out everything I've heard, leave it right here. Because when I go out in the world, that wouldn't work. Is a different thing. So what, are we a sadhu 45 minutes? And then a sadhu for the rest of the day? Shami, you get any point? So what happens here? Sudarshan, good sight, must be with us how? All the time. 24 hours a day. And when we do that, we can then destroy these demons. And Brahma, our creative potency, can in fact be expressed to its greatest. Devotees, I hope what I have shared with you this evening, we've heard the story yesterday, and we've applied that story, the philosophy of it today. Each of us face challenges, rag and dvesh. How do we overcome it? Worship Devi. And in destroying these negative tendencies that are within us, how do we destroy it? Sudarshan. The chakra means good vision, which you must exercise at all times. In other words, always be vigilant with your thoughts. Be vigilant what you say. Be vigilant in terms of what you eat. Be vigilant in terms of what you think. And you have to do it 24 hours a day. We make mistakes. We get up, dust ourselves out, and continue. Devotees, so the message for Samadhi and Surat, you and I tonight, is in order to overcome, remember their problem, their attachment. Even though this experience of theirs was bad, they remained attached. They couldn't extricate themselves. And so this katha of Vishnu Bhagwan, how Brahma was saved, gives them the answer, which is overcome the pairs of opposites in the world that happens to us. We do things not because we like it, and we do not do things because we don't like it. We look at what dharma is. We act appropriately, and in every day, every possible way, what do? We ensure that we have proper sight, overview of our lives. Devotees, I invite you, place your hands together, close your eyes. Or focus on the Murti if you prefer, as we offer the stotra to Mata. Many are our challenges, many are our shortcomings. We are weak in many ways, O Mother, but this we know, Gatistvam Gatvistam Tvameka Bhavani. You, O Mother, will save us. Bhavanashtakam na tato na mata na bandhur na data na putro na putri na bhrityo na bharta na jaya na vidya na vrittarvameva gatishthvam gatishthvam tvameka bhavani. भवाब्धाव पारे महादुःख भीरु पाप प्रकामी प्रलोभी प्रमद कुसंसार पाश प्रबद्ध सदाहम गतिष्त्वं गतिष्त्वं त्वमेका भवानी न जानामि दानं न च ध्यानयोगं न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रं न जानामि पूजा न च न्यासयोगं गतिष्त्वं गतिष्त्वं त्वमेका भवानी न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थं न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि भक्तिं व्रतं वापि मार्ग गतिष्त्वं गतिष्त्वं त्वमेका भवानी कुकर्मी कुसंगे कुबुद्धि कुदास कुलाचारहीन कदाचारलीन कुदृष्टि कुवाक्य प्रबद्ध सदाहं गतिष्त्वं गतिष्त्वं त्वमेका भवानी प्रजेशं रमेशं महेशं सुरेशं दिनेशं निशीथेश्वरं वा कदाचित् न जानामि चान्यत् सदाहं शरण्ये गतिष्त्वं गतिष्त्वं त्वमेका भवानी विवादे विषादे प्रमादे प्रवासे जले चानले पर्वते शत्रुमध्ये अरण्ये शरण्ये सदा मा प्रपाहि गतिष्त्वं गतिष्त्वं त्वमेका भवानी अनाथो दरिद्रो जरारोगयुक्तो महाक्षीणदीन सराजारवक्त विपत्तो प्रविष्ट प्रनष्ट सदाहं गतिष्त्वं गतिष्त्वं त्वमेका भवानी इति श्रीमच्छङ्कराचार्यकृतं भवानष्टकं सम्पूर्णं या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. We pray to Divine Mother that through her grace our creative potencies would be awakened. We would know that which is right from that which is wrong. We will be able to identify in reality that which will uplift us and to act accordingly. Bole Shri Durga Mata ki Jai. Shri Havan Sanskar. Panaji.
Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat Swaha. Om Ganganapate Namah Swaha. Om Shri Gauri Mata Swaha. Om Shri Prithvi Mata Swaha. Om Shri Panchalokpal Devta Swaha. Om Shri Navagraha Devta Swaha. Om Shri Agim Devta Swaha. Om Shri Durga Mata Swaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Mata Swaha. Om Ai Saraswati Swaha. Om Shri Govardhan Girdhari Swaha. Om Shri Radha Krishna Swaha. Om Shri Hanumantaye Namah Swaha. Om Shri Sita Ramachandraya Namah Swaha. Om Ishta Devta Swaha. Om Kul Devta Swaha. Om Stan Devaya Swaha. Om Gram Devta Swaha. Om Itekadam Pradhan Devaya Swaha. Om Vastu Devta Swaha. Om Taintis Karo Devta Swaha. Om Sarva Devta Sarva Devi Swaha. Om Shri Anant Swarupaye Swaha. Please stand. Final offering. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayopavaya Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Shivaya Shivtalaya Om Namah Shivaya. Om Purnamada Purnamadam Purnata Purnam Udachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Achman. Om Sarva Paparam Divyam Kankyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanam Cha Meritam Grihatam Parishotamam. Om Shri Agindevta Namastute.
गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय मंगल मूर्ति मैया जय आनंद करनी तुमको निसरन जावत हरे ब्रह्मा शिवरी
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
मांग सिंदूर विराजत टीकों में डमडको उज्ज्वल से रौनैन चंद्रवदंतरी को जय अम्बे गौरी
गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
कनक समान कलेवर रक्त बरराजे रक्त पुष्प गलमाला कंठन पर साजे
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
के हरि वाहन राजत कजर कपरदारी सुर नर मुनि जन सेवट तिनके दुखहारी
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती कोटि चंद्र दिवाकर समराजत ज्योति
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
शुंभ निशुंभ बिरारे महिषासुर गाती धूम विलोचन नैना निषेधन मरमाती
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
चंद्रमुंड सनहारे शोणित बीज हरे मधु कैटा बधाऊ मारे सुर भयहीन करे
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
ब्रह्मानी रुद्रानी तुम कमला रानी आगम निगम बकानी तुम शिव पतरानी
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
तुम हो जग की माता तुम ही हो बरता भक्तन की दुख हरता सुख संपत्ति करता
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
64 योगिनी गावत नित्य करत बैरो बजत ताल मृदंगा और बजत डमरू
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी
चाचाति शोभित वदरम दुरदारी मनवांछित बल पावत सेवत नर नारी
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
कांचन ताल विराजत अग्रक पुरबाती माला के तुम राजत कोटि रतन ज्योति
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
श्री अम्बे जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे कहत शिवानंद स्वामी सुख संपत्ति पावे जय अम्बे
अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल ले तेरे बीत चराया ले तेरे बीत चराया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे किशोर तिलक लगाया किशोर तिलक लगाया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
ब्रह्म बेर पर तेरे द्वारे ब्रह्म बेर पर तेरे द्वारे शंकर ध्यान लगाया शंकर ध्यान लगाया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया सोने का छत्र चराया सोने का छत्र चराया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर मदी सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर मदी कलियुग राज समाया कलियुग राज समाया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती मोहन भोग लगाया मोहन भोग लगाया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
दानु भगतमय तेरे गुण गावे दानु भगतमय तेरे गुण गावे मनवांछित फल पाया मनवांछित फल पाया अरे सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
जय जय अम्बा भवानी माँ 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 जय जय अम्बा भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बा भवानी माँ, जय जय अम्बा भवानी माँ।
ॐ शूलेन पाहि नो देवी पाहि खड्गेन चाम्बिके घण्टास्ववेन पाहि चाप्यजाने स्ववेन च। ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बिके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते। दुर्गे देवी नमस्तुभ्यं सर्वकामार्थसिद्धिके मम सिद्धिमसिद्ध्वं वा स्वप्ने सर्वं प्रदर्शय। ॐ यदक्षरं परं भ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवी प्रसीद परमेश्वरी। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ मनसा स्मरामि, श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ वचसा गृह्णामि, श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शिरसा नमामि, श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरि ओम। बोले श्री आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय, शंकर भगवान की जय, स्वाहा माता की जय, सीताराम चंद्र की जय। गर्व से कहो हम हिंदू हैं। बोले श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। कल्याण मस्तु शुभ मस्तु। प्लीज बी सीटेड। Devotees, as we conclude tonight, special blessings to our Shrotas, no strangers, very hard-working members of the temple, Priya, Ambika, Wendy, and Prem, the head of the household. Or is it Wendy? Wendy and Prem. Devi Yag, mother in charge. Special blessings to all of you, to you. May you continue to grow and develop. And may your legitimate desires be fulfilled through Ma's blessings, special blessings. To all of you who have joined, I hope and pray that Mata's blessing be with you. And I would now invite the coordinator of our Devi Yagya, Risha Ramkisur, another mother herself, two beautiful young daughters, to make her expressions, what needs to be done.
Bharat Manidev Prasad, Mrs. Rohini Prasad, Kalyani Prasad, Pandit Kavish Prasad, wonderful devotees, Sitaram to all. Our fifth night of prayer is completed, and I'm sure we have all learned a little more about Ma Durga. Just a few reminders about our ongoing and upcoming activities. Our fun has begun downstairs. Everyone can participate when they can. It goes until Saturday night. These activities are to help grow and develop this Devi Yag, by extension, our temple. Final day to enter the murti making competition and coloring competition is tonight. Saturday, celebrating our children. Puja starts at 4 p.m. All kids will be seated at the front, and I will be here to assist. Anyone who needs additional information can ask me. I will be here. So, what we have again, the not-so-youths, be prepared for a hard day of work in the kitchen Saturday morning at 9 a.m. All prize winners will be announced on Saturday night. The Murti and coloring competition, all Murtis and coloring should be in temple tomorrow, which is Friday. Sunday, puja starts at 1 p.m. All is invited to join, and followed by Visarjan at Paragon Sports and Cultural Club at Kokorit, just after Massey Stores and West Mall. Secured parking is available. Dinner will be served at Paragon. Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Anyone who would like to go down at Paragon to help set up with me is welcome. Meals have been lovingly prepared. Please stay and partake before leaving. Reach home to your respective homes safely. Sitaram, I will now hand over to Pandit Manidev Prasad for any additions.
I want to commend Risha and her team very highly for developing this Devi Yag in the way it's going, in the way it's developing one of spirituality and pure love. Special blessings to you and all of you who have joined. And return, there are 3 days again in the Navratri period for us to worship Devi. Come, worship her, get her blessings, and develop. Sitaram.
Namah